Hello Bond fans and welcome to the Bond Bulletin. Under my last two videos on Bond 26, you guys have dropped many names who should step into the footsteps of Daniel Craig, and for today's video I've shortlisted 10 of your choices to redefine 007's physicality. From the secret theatre star the industry is quietly whispering about, to the veteran fan favourite the internet refuses to let go of. So let's break down who these 10 men are and why they could actually land the famed license to kill. One of the names frequently mentioned was Leo Suter, and he's practically tailor-made for casting director Nina Gold's approach of finding a fresh face. He's a classically trained Oxford graduate who completely transforms when he steps into a high-stakes violent world. With his breakout performance as Harold Sigurdsson in Vikings Valhalla, Suter proved he can command the screen with a massive lethal presence. Secondly, his lead role as the aristocratic detective in the BBC's Lindley reboot shows he has that effortless, refined English sophistication completely locked down already. So in many ways he represents the perfect union of a raw warrior and a high society gentleman, a blend that arguably a lot of us cherish very much. Next in the lineup we have Alex Roe, an incredibly sharp option if producers are going for a raw, athletic British operative vibe. Roe brings a gritty physical intensity to the screen that is largely due to his background in semi-professional football, meaning he could easily handle a hyper-visceral, action-heavy script. His standout role as Pat Garrett in Billy the Kid showed a brilliant ability to play a cold, single-minded lawman burdened by a dark moral complexity. Exactly the type of layered energy that would be required to modernize a young 007. If the goal is to find an actor who can lean heavily into the explosive sex appeal and mysterious aura requirement, Cory Mylchreest is a brilliant candidate. A classic RADA graduate, he has the pedigree and the dramatic chops to back up a massive blockbuster casting. His breakthrough role as King George III in Netflix's Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story, was an absolute masterclass in playing a deeply fractured and brooding, yet very magnetic character. A psychological cocktail that would align perfectly with a more vulnerable, origin-focused James Bond. Also high up on our list is Thomas Doherty, who would bring a dangerous rock and roll edge to the table that could completely reinvent the franchise's aesthetic for a new generation. Many of you have pointed out his similar look to a young Sean Connery, but more importantly, he's got an intense screen presence and an underlying menace that keeps you guessing. His standout role as Walter DeVille in the thriller The Invitation proved he can play a hyper-wealthy, incredibly suave aristocrat who hides a deeply predatory, lethal nature underneath, which is a fascinating modern angle for a younger and colder 007. If you've seen Guy Ritchie's The Gentleman, you will have noticed Theo James, who would represent the absolute peak of the sophisticated modern operative. He has the perfect age and maturity profile to command a room, dripping with an alpha male confidence that feels completely natural. His signature performance as Eddie Horniman in The Gentleman serves as a flawless, almost multi-hour audition tape for Bond, expertly balancing the world of aristocratic elegance with cold-blooded tactical criminal violence. James can play a lethal killer who looks immaculate in a tailored suit at the same time. Let's assume Amazon MGM decides to break the mold entirely and cast a younger, towering and deeply imposing Bond. Jacob Elordi could be a phenomenal option. Standing at a massive 1.96 m, he would bring a physical gravity to the screen that we haven't seen in the franchise before. While his range is incredibly broad, his signature performance in Saltburn highlighted his lethal weapon, an effortless, upper-class charm and allure that masks a deeply complex and untrustworthy internal world. He could give us a Bond who feels genuinely unpredictable and dangerous. The oldest contestant, Tom Ellis, would be the ultimate choice if the producers want to lean back into the classic, devilishly charming roots of the character. He possesses a suave aesthetic and a brilliant sense of comedic timing that keeps the material from feeling too self-serious. His iconic long-running role as the title character in Lucifer proved he can anchor a massive global hit entirely on his own charisma, flawlessly blending a playful, fast-talking sophistication with flashes of genuine dark authority. And then there is Richard Madden, who has been a fan-favourite frontrunner ever since he played David Budd in Bodyguard, a role that perfectly showcased his mastery of high-tension pacing, tactical combat, and the deep psychological trauma of a professional operative. Madden delivered that same intense energy that Daniel Craig brought to the role. He has a brilliant ability to look entirely calm on the surface, while communicating that he could snap a target's neck at any second. Callum Turner is an incredibly strong candidate put forward by you in the comments because he bridges that gap between indie talent and massive blockbuster presence. He feels like a throwback to the physically imposing leading men of British cinema's golden age. His role as Major John Egan in Masters of the Air showed he can play a swaggering, intensely charming leader who is deeply battle-hardened and carries the heavy emotional weight of war, the exact temperament needed for a grounded Denis Villeneuve-directed Bond. And finally, Henry Cavill still remains the heavy hitter on this list, with the most mentions under my videos. He's a literal titan of the genre, whom the fans and the internet refuse to let go of. Even as the producers lean toward a fresh and younger face, you cannot deny that he looks like he stepped straight out of an Ian Fleming novel. His performance as Napoleon Solo in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. remains the gold standard for modern spy charisma. His flawless posture, icy confidence, and deadpan wit prove that if they decided to go for an established veteran Bond, he would wear the tuxedo better than anyone else. Since we can be fairly certain that Amazon MGM is looking for a younger actor to carry the franchise for the next couple of years, let's take a quick look at the age range and who of your picks probably won't qualify. Both Jacob Elordi and Cory Mylchreest are 28, followed by Thomas Doherty at 31 and Leo Suter at 32. Callum Turner and Alex Roe are both 36 years of age. Richard Madden is almost 40. The three final ranks belong to Theo James at 41, Henry Cavill at 43, and Tom Ellis at 47. So what do you think? Should the producers make age such a strict issue in casting, or go for what the fans desire most? Let me know in the comments, and otherwise like and subscribe to not miss any Bond 26 news. Exciting times, Bond fans. Have a great day.